Davison, it just seems like, people have been having a lot of good things to say about you. How comfortable have you felt out there in your first spring here?
I felt very comfortable, to be honest with you. After playing my true freshman year last season, I feel just comfortable playing college football now. Like, I'm completely comfortable.
What's been the biggest transition from Ole Miss to here?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I feel like it's been, like, very easy. Like, Ohio State has been very easy. It feels like home. Like, it feels like Jersey, to be honest with you.
What is it that feels like home about being here?
Just the up north vibe, like the family atmosphere. Like, it feels like New Jersey.
Like 25 degrees at 7 a.m.?
Exactly.
Do you like that?
I do. I mean, I'm a Jersey boy, so I'm used to it. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever been 25 in Oxford, has it?
Actually, it has.
It has? Yeah.
It gets pretty cold down there, too.
Hey, Davison, or you go by Dave, right?
I go by Davison Dave.
When you made this move, what did you tell yourself about walking into somebody else's room? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you were changing rooms, like cornerback-wise and stuff. Were you intent on fitting in? How would you explain meeting new guys, you know what I mean, and making sure you don't rock the boat, so to speak?
I feel like my play speaks for itself, so I feel like other good football players have to embrace me because I'm also a good football player, I feel like. So I feel like if you see real, you will accept it.
What did last year, what are you finding? I was asking somebody else about this a while ago. Getting to start 10 games in the SEC, et cetera. What did that do for you right now as you're sitting here from a competition standpoint of knowing you have the goods, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So, like, coming in as a freshman last year, that's probably the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. So I feel like nothing else, like everything that happens to me moving forward is not going to be as hard.
Yeah.
Competing against. When you decided to go into the transfer portal after your freshman season in Mississippi, can you tell us kind of what led to that process? How you decided that, and what that all kind of like led to?
Okay, so Chris Partridge, the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss last year, he got fired, and I just felt like he was the main reason why I went down there in the first place. So I just feel like him getting fired, it was an opportunity to explore other options.
When you had just been recruited out of high school, what was it like to kind of go through that process then again so soon after? What was that like?
It was easier because in high school you don't know as much. I feel like playing a year of college football, like understanding like the entire like aspect of college football, it definitely made it easier.
All that seemed to happen pretty quickly. When you went into the portal, was Ohio State the goal for you? Was this the place you wanted to go, or how did that process play out?
I mean, Ohio State was the place I wanted to be since I was a little boy. Like out of high school, they didn't actually like come and get me. So like hopping in the portal, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't think that they would like offer me, to be honest with you.
Coach Walt said it kind of took some convincing though to get you here. Yes or no?
Like he convinced me to be here.
I mean, he just said that like the process to get you to come play for Ohio State once you entered the portal, there were some things going on, he said, and it just took maybe some convincing to get you to come here. That's what he said.
Maybe that's what I showed, but deep down in my heart, I knew I was from Ohio State from the jump.
Describe your game a little bit, Davison. Like, you're obviously a big corner. Like, describe your game out there. What do you do well?
I'm a big corner. I'm a physical corner. I'm going to put my hands on you. I'm going to come up, make tackles. I'm going to get pass breakers, get interceptions. I'm also a ball hawk as well. I just do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Coach Knowles was really talking you up. He said you're doing excellent. It's got to feel good to hear the defensive coordinator say that about you. How do you feel like you're playing so far in spring?
I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like I haven't played my best football yet. Like, I can be so much better than I am right now.
You said you grew up an Ohio State fan, or that was the team how did you pick them? Or what made you?
I mean, I'm from up north, so like Ohio State's probably the best team up north, to be honest with you. Like just watching like guys like Denzel Ward and Jeff Okudah. Right.
To see the success that a lot of other Jersey guys have had here in recent years, did that factor into wanting to be a Buckeye?
I mean, of course, but I want it to be I feel like just Ohio State speaks for itself, and like just like their first round draft talent, I think it speaks for itself, to be honest with you.
How quickly did Ohio
relationship with Ohio State during the recruiting process at all?
So in high school, Ohio State never reached out to me. I feel like in high school I was I feel like in high school, I didn't get like all the big time offers like as I should have.
So I guess when you do go into the portal, it would seem maybe you want to lean more towards schools that you at least had a relationship with during the recruiting process. Why did you kind of said you were an Ohio State fan, but like how did that come on your radar? Why did you end up picking Ohio State?
To be honest with you, Coach Day just gave me a phone call, and like it was Ohio State. I'm like, there's probably a lot of, like Ohio State like speaks for itself. They were going to be the national champions. Like if a couple plays were different, they would have been the national champions. So I just feel like it was pretty easy.
So when you look at those plays, you're thinking that's where I could help this team.
Exactly.
When Coach Day calls you, is that like one of those phone calls? You remember like where you're standing?
I was in the field house at my high school, like during a lift. It was I want to say a Boston phone number. I'm like, who could possibly be calling me? And it was Ryan there. And I just said, God is good.
How quickly did that call come after you entered the portal?
It was kind of late after I entered the portal. I feel like I was already getting recruited. It was kind of, so it was probably late. So probably the week, like the last day I spent in the portal, he called me. Like I wouldn't say last day. So I had a visit to UCLA. I want to say on Friday. Yeah. Maybe Tuesday. Ryan Day called me.
That's Tuesday after that visit?
No, Tuesday
before.
Yes, Tuesday before.
So it kind of all came together very quickly.
Yes, it did.
Did he explain to you that
Couple more questions
when they
for
look
you,
for
folks.
when they look at the transfer report, they're looking for guys who definitely are going to fit in? I mean, how did he explain to you why their call came a little bit late? You know what I mean? It sounds like they did a pretty good evaluation of you.
I would say like Ohio State's the top program, one of the top programs in the country, so they're just not going to go after everybody. They need to make sure that you're a good enough player to play here. I feel like that's what took so long.
Yeah, I had a former player the other day at the scrimmage watching, and he told me, like you brought him up a minute ago, he said you remind him of Jeffrey Okudah.
That's what I'm going for, to be honest with you.
What would you see in Okudah that just strikes you?
Just him being physical, him coming up, putting hands on receivers, making tackles. He's the total package, to be honest with you.
Davison, what's been the big difference between Ole Miss and here so far?
The competition. Every school preaches competition, but Ohio State lives competition every single day, from the weight room to the field. You're competing in everything.
What's the value of that year being spent in the SEC?
It's astronomical, to be honest with you. I feel like what I endured as a true freshman coming in high school and enrolling early as a 17-year-old, I feel like it was the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life. So I feel like that prepared me for everything moving forward.
Did you have a moment last year at Ole Miss where you felt like things clicked, you sort of had a breakthrough moment where it's like I could be like a freshman start and playing right away for this team?
I wouldn't say that, but I know as a 17-year-old leaving home, I knew that I wasn't leaving home to not play. Like I knew I was making all these sacrifices for like something great.
What's the competition like at corner right now with guys like Denzel and Jordan and you and Jair? Just talk about the competition at corner a little bit.
It's a good competition. I mean, those are all like top players in the entire country. So I just feel like competition just makes everybody play better.
There's probably places you could have gone where you would have been guaranteed to start. What made you want to come here where you would have to compete for a job?
Of course, I want to be a first-round draft pick. I feel like if you come to Ohio State, if you play the best players every day, you will be like prepared.